believe our next speaker is Vicky. Vicky, in the fabulous Magenta talk, lawyer. Vicky is a recent new friend, one of Jean-Pierre Heim's introductions. And Vicky impressed me when we had dinner last Saturday night. It's hard to believe it's only been 1 week. That seemed to be we had such a good talk that night at Ratka. Vicky's an interesting lady because she's an entrepreneur. She's a lawyer. She does much more than just lawyering. She's actually a very strategic, creative thinker. Somebody that I think we got more done that evening at dinner. She's trained in the bar in Germany, in Greece. So you got the perfectly matches to our business, Greek, German, and English. And I asked her to please come to Keanaissance and share what she's doing because I think she can be a real asset as we're building out the Kia Property Corporations. Please welcome Vicky.
Thank you so much, Julie. I'm very honored to be here. Your vision is great, and I would really love to be part of it and to help to realize it. So I'm pretty sure that you want all to hear about legal stuff. No, I don't think that you want to hear about legal stuff. So I'm happy that we decided with Julie. 2 weeks ago, I was in Vienna at a real estate event where I was a speaker and informed the public about the legal framework on real estate transactions in Greece. So we decided not to show this presentation. So whoever is interested in that, I can send it, of course, to you. But I will inform you and I will tell you about a little bit about my story and why I believe that you need to invest in Greece, where I don't believe that it's pretty right to invest in Greece, because I think it's invest in yourself and not in Greece. So my name is Vicky Athanassoglou. My surname is pretty difficult, so it's just Vicky. I'm a qualified lawyer in Germany and in Greece. I grew up in Germany, but I moved to Greece 20 years ago. I started in a big law firm. I was 15 years very active in this great golden era of the stock exchange between 2000 and 2010 and participated on all the big ticket transactions and worked in this great corporate environment, M&A transactions, banking and securities, all this great stuff. I have also 2 kids, 2 children, where I am so passionate about my work that I send also emails after giving birth. So just to show how crazy I am with my profession and with my job. We support actually investors from all over the world. 10 years ago, after being 15 years in big law firms, I decided to create my own business. It was the beginning of the crisis where I left the firm and I started my own business, where everybody was saying you must be crazy actually, but actually I was not crazy because all went well, and I'm very happy to did this step and to create my own law business, specializing actually in supporting investors, as I said, from all over the world. In parallel, it's not my only business. I have my law firm. And then I'm also a partner in a corporate advisory firm. It's a Reset Consultants. The Reset, I think it's also very symbolic, like the Keanaissance, like the Renaissance or Reset, after the crisis, to reset everything and to start something really great. So why law firm and legal stuff and corporate advisory? Because an investor needs a good partner to do investment wherever in the world, but especially in Greece, and I think Jean-Pierre will agree with me, it's even more important to have the right partners in place. It's all about trust, it's about credibility, it's about doing something great. So you need to have the right partners to support you in this. Especially when it comes to real estate investments, and here I will tell you, some very few things about legal. You need to have a good, legal advice in order to really get a clear and free title and to do everything correctly from a legal perspective. The good thing is that, the Greek legal system is very similar to the German one. So it's a very stable system. It's a very clear. There are no gray areas. There is just black and white. So when it comes to ownership, to lease, to contracts, I think when you come and see how it works, you will be impressed that everything seems so similar to other jurisdictions. Okay, so 1+1 is 2. And this is how actually my expertise also from Germany, you know, my German background in combination with a little bit the Greek creativity brings all this together to create great transactions. So especially when it comes to Kea in this project, as I said, you need good partners. Legal is very important, but I never go without a great, you know, team of architects and engineers. Because when you build something, you know, it's not just about legal due diligence, it's also about technical due diligence and licensing, etc. So when you structure a deal like you intend to do, from the very beginning on in the correct way, nothing can go wrong. And of course, you need to be alert because there are always, you know, obstacles, bureaucracy, etc. But with the right approach, everything you can overcome. So this is, you know, if you're interested in whatever investments in Greece, I think this is the right time. Throughout the crisis, you know, I started my business, you know, 8 years ago. There were investors, you know, from China, from India, from Lebanon, the Israelis. They were very aggressive, and they were actually, the first ones to come, you know, to take advantage of the crisis. We are very active also on the NPL market. NPL is non-performing loans, access to great real estate portfolios of Greek banks, where, you know, real assets serve as collateral. So the Israelis, they took advantage of it, and they were the first to come. And now we see a development of, you know, big players to come, not only from Israel, from all over the world. I see a tendency, you know, from Switzerland, from Austria, from Germany. The Germans, for example, they were, for some years, they had disappeared. They didn't touch Greece because, you know, of the Greek risk, of everything. Now they love Greece again. And there are some great real estate development projects going on in Greece, where we will support either, you know, in Crete, in Antiparos, in Paros, in Athens, commercial great real estate developments, in tourism. So I think, you know, this is the right time. And as I said in the beginning, I think it's not about invest in Greece. It's really invest in yourself. Because what means, you know, you can go, sometimes they're asking, you know, compare, you know, I can go to Portugal, to Spain. Yeah, okay, if you want to go to Portugal, go to Portugal. So, or if you want to go to Spain, go to Spain. Greece has such a magic here, where when you come, you will see, because it's, you know, the spirit of being here and the energy. You know, I lived 20 years in Germany. I know exactly the difference. I love, you know, I love Germany. I love Switzerland. I love traveling. I love traveling. But every time I'm coming back, although sometimes, you know, it can be a little bit messy, especially in Athens and not here with the beauty of Kea, I love being in Greece and having here actually my center of my life. And now I think the pandemic has helped us, you know, with all these, you know, online opportunities to choose where we want to live. And I think, you know, if you cannot decide to leave your, you know, your main home as a secondary home, I think Greece is great. So wherever we can help, I will be happy to do so, me and myself and my team. And I'm very happy.
Thank you. Thank you for that. You see the competence and the clarity of vision and so forth. You know, a lot of people, Vicky, have been asking about the golden visa, and you know, you said some really insightful things at dinner. One of them, just to show, because you know about this place, and so I wasn't told this at the time, and But you said you don't need to set up a bank account to,
No.
right? So that was one.
Yes.
And there's a couple of things like that where you said, I said, could you do fractional ownership of
Yes.
so what are some of the myths of this golden visa program?
I'm happy to give you, some basic outline. My firm got involved in a golden visa project, 4 or 5 years ago, and we are supporting a lot of investors for golden visa, and in high profile actually real estate developments, because in the beginning of the golden visa program there were a lot coming, buying small apartments, etc. But the golden visa, and it was not marketed. I think one lady said before there was not enough marketing for golden visa Greece. Indeed, this is a fact actually, because golden visa is just great because you can invest in something which I would anyhow invest also without the golden visa, okay? And then the golden visa comes on top, which is like a cherry, on the top. It's actually great. And this is why when, investors coming to ask for golden visa, I said, find something you like really great. You don't need a lawyer for this. Come here, live here, rent something, look where you want to buy something, buy it, and then we will assist you in everything, and you don't need to do anything. So on golden visa, there was this misconception that a Greek bank account is needed. Okay, when we started, because we had a lot of clients from China, which is pretty difficult, to quickly actually, because for Greek bank account, mostly you need to be here, you need to come to Greece. So I found a way, and actually I was somehow a pioneer on this, because everybody was saying you need a Greek bank account, okay? And then, we looked into it and found out you don't need a Greek bank account, and you don't need, okay? So we did, I don't know, about 175 golden visa without establishing a bank account, because it's not needed. Even today, investors are advised wrongly. Of course, afterwards, you can open one just to facilitate, your apartment, your real property, to pay taxes, etc., etc. But it's not needed. It's not needed. But there is a misconception. Then, for golden visa, you can either invest in a real property over 250,000, or also not only buying the real property, also fractional. So, like an example, you have a great plot of land and you want to build something on it. You can actually, with a group of friends, let's say 4 or 5 friends, say we will build this together. And okay, so everybody is eligible to golden visa. This is what we did actually in Crete, a great project with 126 units. Okay, it's a big. It's for Chinese, so they like to, you are Chinese made, so they like to be together, a lot of people. And this is how we did it, fractional ownership of all the investors and doing a great real estate development together. Then also, you don't need to buy real property. You can do also a long-term lease over 10 years with the same amount, of course, 250,000, and also get a golden visa. And the golden visa is not only for the investor, but it's also for the family. And because we Greeks, we love family, so it's not only for your children, but it's also for the grandparents, from the spouse, from everybody, and for the children, of course. So you can actually, all the family, they can get a Schengen visa. Like I said, a cherry on the top.
Fractional investment, when it's a lot of people in the investment, it has to be 250,000 each, or a total of 250,000?
No, it needs to be
250,000 each.
But like, for example, if it is a couple, then it's 250,000
per couple.
Okay, yes.
Per family, let's say.
Per family,
couple, yeah.
let's say. Yes.
Okay.
So maybe there are some questions. So I don't want to bore you, with legal stuff.
So I just learned, I think it was this morning, someone here is purchasing a golden visa in Portugal, and part of that requires that they learn some Portuguese for some type of exam. Does Greece require that you learn Greek?
No.
As part of it?
No, not at all. That would be very funny, actually. Can you imagine? No, but for a Greek passport, you need to learn Greek. But for a golden visa, which is just, it's a residence permit for 5 years, as long as you are holding, the real property you can renew after 5 years, so it can be also forever. You don't need to learn Greek.
Okay, thank you.
What's the process for renewal after the 5 years?
It's the public fee, which you need to pay. It's around 2,000 euros, and that's it. And of course, you need to pay your lawyer, but you need all the time to pay the lawyer. So this is good. This is good news,
Very good. Any last question for Vicky?
Vicky, can you, if you buy the property, can you mortgage it after you bought it, or is that not allowed?
No, this is not allowed. It needs to be free and clear from any encumbrances.
It needs to remain so.
Yes, the truth is that nobody's checking afterwards, so it needs to be done, at the beginning. But actually, we advise our clients not to risk it, actually, and not, to keep it clear and free from any encumbrance. Because if, there is a ratio behind this. Because if, a bank has a collateral on it, actually, okay, you own it, but you don't own it so much. So, because at any time, you can lose it.
Two questions. One, what happens if the value of the property you purchase drops? So it's 250 when you buy it, it's now 200,000. And second question, upon renewal, do you need to maintain that asset, or after 5 years, let's say you've sold that property, are you still eligible to have your visa renewed?
Okay, as to the first question, this is a pretty good one, because the law doesn't say that the purchase price needs to be 250,000, the value needs to be 250,000. And this is the value. And this is what is really interesting, because at the beginning of the golden visa, procedures, a lot of apartments were, or real property, were under this value. So this was not correct. And there's always, the issue of really getting the value of 250,000. So we are saying to our clients, don't buy any, property which is not, that does not correspond to this value. Make sure that the value is correct. So you need to have also good advisors on that. As the second question is concerned, actually you keep the golden, you can change the property, but there is some technicality in law. We are trying to change it, actually, because we have some clients who want to change. We are close to the Ministry of Immigration, and we have found some formula with the ministry so that you don't lose it, actually. But, there is some procedure, some legal procedure that needs to be followed. But in any event, you need to have always a property in your possession which with a value of 250,000 and above. As what you are saying, if it drops, this really doesn't matter. The moment that the value needs to be 250,000 is the moment that you are applying for the golden visa. Because you cannot, it's not in your hands, actually. It's out of your control. The moment that you're buying, in this moment, it needs to be 250,000.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you very much for sharing with us.